Wednesday, February 27, the image of the beast. Question. Read Revelation chapter 13, verses 12 and 13. How do 1 Kings 18, verse 38 and Acts 2, verse 3 help us understand the nature of the lamb-like beast's deceptive activities, the greatest of which is bringing fire down from heaven? Revelation 13, verse 12. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. 1 Kings 18, verse 38 reads, And then the fire of the Lord fell, and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench. And Acts chapter 2, verse 3 reads, And there appeared unto them cloven tongues, like as of fire, and it sat upon each of them. By working miracles, the lamb-like beast will convince many that its words are true, despite not being in full harmony with the Scripture. From Great Controversy, page 588, we read, Through the agency of spiritualism, miracles will be wrought, the sick will be healed, and many undeniable wonders will be performed. End of quote. These miracles help the lamb-like beast to persuade the inhabitants of the earth to make an image to the sea beast that received the deadly wound. The healing of the sea beast's deadly wound refers to the restoration of the Roman papacy as a religio-political power. The lamb-like beast also will begin speaking like a dragon and exercising the power of the sea beast, showing that it will become as intolerant as the nations represented by these symbols. And for the rest of today's lesson, we have a quote from the Great Controversy, pages 442 to 445. Such action would be directly contrary to the principles of this government, to the genius of its free institutions, to the direct and solemn avowals of the Declaration of Independence, and to the Constitution. But the inconsistency of such action is no greater than is represented in the symbol. It is the beast with lamb-like horns, in profession pure, gentle, and harmless, that speaks as a dragon, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast. Here is clearly presented a form of government in which the legislative power rests with the people, a most striking evidence that the United States is the nation denoted in the prophecy. But what is the image to the beast, and how is it to be formed? The image is made by the two-horned beast, and is an image to the beast. It is also called an image of the beast. Then, to learn what the image is like and how it is to be formed, we must study the characteristics of the beast itself, the papacy. When the early church became corrupted by departing from the simplicity of the gospel and accepting heathen rites and customs, she lost the spirit and power of God, and in order to control the consciences of the people, she sought the support of the secular power. The result was the papacy, a church that controlled the power of the state and employed it to further her own ends, especially for the punishment of heresy. When the leading churches of the United States, uniting upon such points of doctrine as are held by them in common, shall influence the state to enforce their decrees and to sustain their institutions, then Protestant America will have formed an image of the Roman hierarchy, and the infliction of civil penalties upon dissenters will inevitably result. The image to the beast represents that form of apostate Protestantism which will be developed when the Protestant churches shall seek the aid of the civil power for the enforcement of their dogmas. You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide by Dr. Percy Harold from Queensland, Australia. This service is brought to you by Hope Channel, the Sabbath School Department, and Christian Services for the Blind. Remember, God is always faithful.